So good morning once again. I want to welcome you to this training, this introductory class into our data analysis course for September-October 2023. My name is Akeemm Mustafa. I'm the lead instructor for Brattle Multi-Concept Consult. I'm going to show you my profile later after the introduction, at the end of the introduction. So why we are here today is basically to familiarize ourselves with this training we've been hearing about for some time. I know most of us have been following Brattle Multi-Concept for some time, and we have people who are just connecting with us also. Perhaps maybe they see an advert on Facebook, or perhaps some of our post content on the LinkedIn also. So, however, this training is going to take 8 weeks. It's going to take like 8 weeks training, and we're going to cover most of the topics that we included in our flyers. Oh, sorry, we're going to cover everything that we have in our flyers. So as we're starting today, I'm going to introduce you to what BMC data analysis is all about, the course implications, the benefit of learning from us and others. And we're going to dive also into the practical section. Today being the first class, we're going to start learning today. We're not just going to give you stories about data analysis alone. We're going to start learning right from this class. So let's get started. We've heard about tech everywhere. I had as a popular this thing that somebody said, there is food tech. When somebody hear food tech, it was like, is there any tech for amala or tech for jollof rice also? You see, there is tech for everything now. When most of us were growing up, except for the Gen Z, most of us grew up wanted to become doctor, engineers, accountants, and so on. So, but now we can see that we now have new set of skills around us, mostly in the area of tech. You can see now you now hear fintech, edtech, food tech, edtech, everything about tech. So this shows us that there is a dramatic change in the job landscape that we have. And it's actually telling us what we are likely to see or to face in the nearest future. I think you can see my screen. My screen is showing tech everywhere now. Can you confirm that, please? Can somebody confirm that you can see my screen?
Yeah, sure.
Great.
Yeah.
Now,
We can see your screen.
thank you very much. So we can see that this tech is now everywhere. In every businesses, you can't remove tech. In fact, even in the house, I think we should have house tech now. In your home, technology is there already. Either knowingly or unknowingly, technology is everywhere. Now, why are we curious about this? Why are we curious about this? We can see that if you look around with the recent the AI large language models like ChatGPT and the rest, there is growing in the fear that people might lose so many jobs, or so many people might lose their jobs also. From this World Economic Forum analysis, it stated that about out of 50% of the people around now might need to upskill or reskill in the nearest future. 50% of everybody living now might need to upskill in the nearest future. If you look at this on the left side there, we have 50% of employees who need to reskill by 2025. Why? Because the job landscape is changing. The requirements by businesses are changing. The needs are changing. So, and to meet up with the change environment, there is nothing you can do than to acquire the skill that you will need to function properly in those industries. So, going by that, what are the jobs that are now growing in demand? Yes, the um the conventional jobs that we all know before will still be around. Doctor, engineering, accountancy, um, legal services, all those jobs will still be around, but there will be changes. There will be dramatic change in the way they interact, in the way they operate also. So which means that while those jobs are still around, even though you have your university degree, you may not even be qualified to work with them without the technology knowledge. If you look around now, for people asking for um, maybe somebody is posting a job vacancy for accountancy now, you will see that it's not just about knowledge of debit and credit. Ability to use, you will see ability to use maybe a particular tool like Excel, accounting software, and the rest, which means that your ability to use a software, ability to use um, uh, Excel, or to do analysis, your ability, there is ability now, coupled with the certificate you have, you now need the ability to do X, Y, Z to secure that job. So which means that you might be there for many years, and when you don't have the ability to do the X, Y, Z, you might lose the job to someone who is just a new graduate but has ability to do X, Y, Z. So, if you look around, based on this World Economic Forum, some jobs are growing. Like in this case, in like if you look at this 170 million people, based on 170 million workforce, here we have that about 97 million jobs are in the, oh, sorry, out of 170 million jobs. Hello, are you talking to me? Okay. Okay. So now we can see there are some jobs that are growing in demand, like data analysis and scientists, AI and machine learning specialist, big data specialist, digital marketing and strategy specialist, process automation, business development.
I can't hear you again, sir. The voice is breaking.
Okay. So apology for that. That's network issue. So like I was saying, that all these jobs will still be around. All data entry jobs, admin jobs will still be around, but will not be done in the conventional ways. For example, for those of us who are accountants, when last have you seen somebody writing GL in 32 column analysis book? For how long? You see that those things are no longer in vogue. They are, in fact, I think if you look around now, it should be like maybe 1 or 2% of company will be keeping such record. I think 2%. It can't be up to 5% of companies that will be keeping a record in manual book. It can't be up to 5% any longer. So which means that even the job that are going to be available, you are going to need the tech skill to drive them. Here we also have the top 10 skills of 2025. Here we have the top 10 skills, which will include analytical thinking, active learning, complex problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, leadership. All these are the skills that will be needed by companies. Five. These are the leading skills that you need to have by then. These are the skills that we need sometimes ago. These are the things we needed in recent times. This is what we focus in 5 years time, and in 2030 there will be also the change that will be changed. So the change will keep going. The change will keep going. It's not going to be a fixed skill that once you acquire this skill, it's going to be that's the end of the story.
Excuse me.
So,
Excuse me.
yep.
Please, I want to confirm if this program is recorded.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Now, we've talked about different analytical skills that are going to be needed in the nearest future. But why analytics? Why is analysis? Why are we talking about analysis now? And if you look around everywhere, I think you hear data analysis more often. Yeah, there are a lot of skills in tech space. UI, UX designer, this and that. There are a lot of skills out there that you can learn. But why data analysis? One, we all know that the world runs on data. This is according to Mervin Analytics. There's data everywhere. But without analyzing your data is just like numbers only. You may not be able to get insight from your data. Data communicates. Our data communicates. So if you don't understand how your data what your data is saying, you might be able to get an insight from it. Now, why do we now choose data analysis? I will give you I will summarize this like into three. One, the average salary for data analysis is higher than the average salary in any country. If you look at average salary, when you talk about average salary, let's say the average salary that people take is like 50,000 naira. The average salary of data analyst is higher than that. Average salary of even as an entry person into data analysis space is higher than the regular industrial average in the country. Number two, there is huge demand. There's huge demand. Now, the rate at which we generate data now is unprecedented. We generate more and more data now. Each company generates data. You have marketing, your data from marketing. If you market on Google, you generate data that you're going to analyze. You market product on Facebook, you're going to generate data for analysis. You market your product on Twitter, you generate data. That's for marketing side. What about the employee? What about the financial data? So there are a lot of data that you are going to be generating here and there. But how do you make use of this data for the growth of the company in the future? Every company now understands that they need data analysts. 5-6 years ago, most people does not even know what, nobody even care about it. But even now, in Nigeria now, is becoming regular request now. If you check on LinkedIn and search for data analysis employing, you see, you're going to see a lot of jobs, even from this country, Nigeria now. So, which means that it's just started, and it's going to grow in the nearest future. It's growing as it's growing in the world. It's going to grow again also here, because once you are dealing with business, you're going to generate data, and those data will not be thrown away. You need them for the growth of your business. The third reason will be easy to navigate. It's a transferable skill that you can learn. But one thing that makes data analysis easy is that from any field, from wherever field you belong to, you can navigate into data analysis. You can move from any field, from wherever field you belong to. It's easy to navigate into. You don't need to have knowledge of coding, knowledge of this, knowledge of that. Once you have the basic knowledge of mathematics and you can think, that's all. It's about thinking. Once you can think and you understand some basic mathematics, you can interpret A from B. Fine. You're good to go. So you don't need, there's no basic requirement that you must have X, Y, Z before you, that maybe this must be requirement, must have this knowledge before you start learning the analysis. No. So the payment is not bad, the demand is there, and it's easy to join, easy to learn, easy to navigate into. Not just that, you can also add the skill into wherever career job you've chosen for yourself. Now, so we have analytics and visualization. When you talk about data analysis, we've talked about analyzing data here. Without analytics, data is just a noise. Now, how do we analyze data? You can write data, we can just list data. But there's one key thing that we're going to learn in data analysis. That is mostly data visualization. Visualizing data will give you insight into your raw data. For example, let's say you have 1 million data. For you to analyze your 1 million data and get full insight from it, it may take a lot of time before you can before you gather yourself together and understand what is going on. But when somebody has worked on the data, looking at the data, you can quickly identify what is happening. Okay, let's look at this thing. I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Look at this data now. I want you to tell me what is happening here. We have product A, B, C, D. I'm going to start the counting now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can somebody tell me what is happening to those data? Product A, B, C, and D. We have 4 products. I want you to unmute yourself and tell me what you can say about the data.
What I observe in that data is that product D has more sales.
Product
D has more sales.
More sales.
More sales.
That's more sales. Okay. That's good. What about product ABC? Can you say anything about them? Who else again? I want somebody else to talk again.
Please go back to the table.
I'm not going back.
Go back to the table. The table
I'm
is
not going back.
there.
Hello,
I'm
sir.
not going back. That's what I want to show you. I'm not going back. Yeah, go ahead. Who else? If you have anything to say about the table, just say it.
Sir, from the table.
We just joined now. We just joined, so
Oh.
we don't.
Which table are you talking about?
Okay.
We didn't see the table.
Oh, okay.
Which table are you talking
Let's see
about?
the table again. The table is not
Okay.
on the screen.
No problem. I'm going to give you 10 seconds. I will show the table. After 10 seconds, I will take off the table. I want to tell me what can you identify in the trend of those data? Tell me the trend. How can you explain the trend about those data in 10 seconds? 1, 2, 3.
The table
4,
is not there now.
5,
okay.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Can you tell me now the trend of any of the product?
It's not organized. It's not organized.
Tell me the trend.
Not properly organized.
The second trend I observe. Are you there?
Okay, go ahead.
Can I say something?
Say
it. The second trend I observe. Okay, the second trend I observe is that in table product C.
Okay.
In table C, the number of sales on 12th column is the max.
Okay. Is what?
Is maximum. The maximum sales out of the whole tables.
Okay. The maximum is what?
The maximum sales for column 12 under table C is high. That is highest.
Okay. The maximum sales under table C is the highest. Good. What have you
For me, I think the whole thing looks everything looks really entering the eyes. Like you can't really figure out which is. So the thing is just scattered.
Exactly. This job.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, I observe from here the table C. The sales there started increasing from the first month throughout. So there's an increase all throughout. While in table D, it increased and decreased, and later something like that. But in table A, increase and decrease and increased again. So I don't understand what it means, sir. That's my
Okay, no
observation.
problem.
Hello.
Thank you very much. Hello, go ahead. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
can I say my own?
No, hold on. Let me share another screen now. I'm going to give you 10 seconds again, and you tell me what you observe. 10 seconds. Start now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I cannot see
7,
any screen. No,
8,
is it only me?
9,
The table
10.
is not there. This is data visualization.
Yeah. This data you
Hello,
see, I
sir.
give you 10. I'm
Yes.
giving you this data now. In 10 seconds, tell me what you observe. 1, 2, 3,
I can't see
4,
your screen.
5, 6,
The
7,
screen is there now.
8, 9, 10. Okay, if you can see my screen, tell me what you observe.
From my own observation.
All right, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Let somebody talk first. Let the guys talk first.
Yeah, and we start with table B again. There is
Okay.
an increase. It started at a lower rate and it increased at the end. While in table A, it was going high. Along the line, it decreases, and from there it moves up and slope like that. I think
Okay.
in table C, it was on a flat rate, and along the line, it increased a little bit, and that's all I can say.
Okay, thank you very much. Before we move on, somebody said he cannot see my screen. Please look at the settings of your teams. Put it into what do you call
I
it?
should do what? I should do what?
Look at your Microsoft Teams and the focus. Put it on focus mode. Put it on focus mode. Put it on focus mode. So I think that's why you cannot see my screen. Okay, somebody else again. Can you say something
Okay,
about
so
that
so
features?
the table A was on the increase at a point just about the middle. It went down, decreased, then came up and went above the formal projection. Table
Okay.
B, table B was on a continuous progression on the angle of elevation up there. Then table C was flat, moving up until just about the last columns. It went up exponentially. Then table D was like zigzag, go up, come down, go up, come down, go up, and come down like that.
Good
That
job.
was what
Thank
that
you.
was.
One more person.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Table A is showing a trend of sales from January to December. And
Okay.
the monthly movement of table A is going steadily, and at a time it's dropped. And after
Okay.
that month that drop, it's moved up again towards the end of the month. Then table B, we have a slopey movement which actually goes up at the middle, and towards the end of the month it goes up. Then table C, it was on a flat rate towards certain months and jump up towards the middle of the month, the year, and goes up like that. While table D, it was a movement from it goes up in the first month, goes down the following month, then up again, come down, and it was in a zigzag form towards the whole year.
Thank you very much. I appreciate everyone for your insight. What I'm driving out, what I want to drive out here is that look at this data. This is just a 12-month data. You can see that it's very difficult to explain the trend. Very difficult. Just 12 months. Just 12 months, 1 to 12. And now let's now consider having like hundreds of data or thousands of data sets or millions of data sets. How do you get insights from your data without analyzing it? You get it? So you have to analyze your data before you can get some insight into it. That's one. Two, the second aspect of analysis now is visualization now. When you visualize your data, you quickly get, you see, within 10 seconds, most of us can grab what is happening to A, B, C, D at the same time. We have 4 visuals. Merely looking at it at a glance, we have idea of what is happening to all the product. We already know which product manager to sack immediately. You can say which product manager do we need to sack and which product we need to invest more or heavily in. You get that? At a glance, you can see what is happening, but here you struggle. Just a 12 month, you're going to struggle to find the trend of the data. So now back to why visualization now. So we can now see the impact of analytics and visualization in our daily lives or in our businesses. For decision making, if you don't analyze your data, it will just be ordinary data there out there doing nothing. And that's what most of the big companies around the world are using. Like of Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and the rest. That is what they bank on. You see, sometimes you search for something on Google. The moment you go to YouTube, you see advert on the particular product you search for on Google. When you go to Facebook, you see the same thing. You see, you just search for maybe a shoe on Google just now or phone on Google. When you go to Facebook, you now see advert on phones. XYZ is selling phones, buy cheaper phones, this and that. When you go to this thing, you see. So, like on YouTube, if you search for a particular film, YouTube will use its algorithm to recommend the next film that you are going to like also. You will see that they recommend based on your previous history. They analyze your history. They know what you are likely to like. Sometimes you may not even click. Sometimes you look at the post on LinkedIn. You don't comment. You don't post. The fact that you always slow down each time you reach the post of XYZ. The fact that you always they notice that you spend more time on his post every time you come across his post. It shows that you are likely to have interest in his post. So each time you have a new post, they remind you that XYZ has posted a new this thing. Have a look at it. So they use all those things to gather, to analyze the customer and know what the customer is likely to need, and they sell to you based on the perceived need of your customer, of you as a customer. So that's why when you have your data, without analyzing your data, visualizing it is just ordinary noise. Just like here, you scramble around, you look up and down. Before you get what is really happening, it's going to be like very, very difficult. So now, the program we're going to have here, our own program, what is it all about?
So I have a question.
Okay, go ahead. Ask your question now.
Okay, in one of the previous slides, I saw something, trends and pattern. What's the difference between trends and pattern?
Trends and pattern. Trends, when you talk about trend is like the movement along a period of time. When you have a period and something is moving along a period. You can see the trend, something last year, this year, next year, or last month, this month, next month. So usually you use trend more of time. When you are talking about time, use trend more. You can use trend for anything, for so many things, but use more of trend when you're talking about period of time, yearly basis, decades, monthly, and pattern also. Pattern is about you want to explain the relationship, how something works. Pattern, you compare something, the pattern of this and this. Get it? You want to check. Let's say you are talking about customers pattern of this. You can say, okay, some customer like this, some customer don't like this. We have 10 customers who like this. We have 100 who doesn't like this. We have, so it's just a pattern. That's just the way I can explain that. And that, but for the trend is more, you use trend more when you're talking about period of time.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. You're welcome. So why our program? Our program is designed to take you through what you need to become a data analyst. Starting your career as a data analyst, what are those things that you will need to excel? So I'm going to focus more on, there are a lot of skills, there are a lot of trainings that you can do out there. But the most important training, we're going to take you from the core skill that you really need. One, you need a knowledge of spreadsheets. Two, you need a knowledge of databases. And three, you need a knowledge of visualization. When you talk about the spreadsheet, we're going to introduce you to Microsoft Excel, which is mostly used by most of us. Is a twin brother is Google Sheet. The twin brother for Microsoft Excel is Google Sheet. If you have used Google Sheet before, you see that they look alike. And some of their functions are also the same. Why they have some differences also, but Microsoft Excel is what I'm going to learn in this class. Also, we have, for databases, we're going to learn SQL. For the purpose of this training, we're going to focus more on SQL Server, which is from Microsoft. We're going to focus on SQL Server from Microsoft. And for visualization, we're going to learn two things. Power BI, which is very common around. Very common, is free source. Power BI on desktop is free for everyone to use. We're going to learn that, and we're going to learn Tableau. Tableau also is of visualization, but it visualizes more. It has a more capability in visualizing than Power BI. So we're going to learn the two, Power BI and Tableau. And for most people who are likely to work remotely with the companies, perhaps in the Europe and US, Canada, the knowledge of Tableau might be needed. And for those who still have the mind of Japa from the country, yeah, data analysis training is very key. It's something that can quickly guarantee you a good job out there. If you still want to Japa to either Canada or US, you have friends there, ask them how data analysis job, how easy it is, or how possible it is to get a job as a data analyst out there. So we are going to cover those three things. One, spreadsheet. Two, database. Three, visualization. And our training is going to be practical. You know, we are talking of 8 weeks. We have 8 weekends to work, to learn, which means that there's nothing, we don't have any time for stories during the 8 weeks. We're going to focus basically on the practical aspect of the training. And we're going to make sure that all our training will give you another data set. As we are doing in class, you are also practicing. Most people complain about online classes. You see, when you talk about online classes, there are two ways you can learn online. One, we have recorded classes like Coursera, like Udemy, and the rest, like LinkedIn Learning and all those ones, all those stuffs. I listen. You have a lot of them. Those are recorded class. It takes you bit by bit, 3 seconds, 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 10 seconds, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Oh, no, there's no 20 minutes. Sir. You can the maximum you can see there is like maybe 7 or 8 minutes. Maximum you can see in the end of the classes. So you see them in bits. Most of the time when people started all those training, they don't finish the training. Most of the time when you start those training, you just at the midpoint, you get frustrated. The second aspect of the online learning is instructor-led, the kind of which we are doing. This where you relate with human being. You ask the right question and you get instant response. You know what make people abandon so many of online projects is that there's no real human being to ask question from. Go into a forum, go and drop your notes, and maybe after 1 or 2 weeks, somebody will respond. And at the end of the day, you are frustrated, just quit learning. But in this case, this is a training whereby, as we are doing in class, we are also practicing at the same time, just like in a physical class, except that we cannot touch each other. We cannot touch physically, but as we are working, we are working. As we are doing, we are doing. We give you time to practice what we are doing. So we're going to make the class practical for these 8 weeks. And you should note that this, when I talk about this skill I want to learn here, is not just want to learn the skill. I've learned it, and that's the end. No, it's going to accelerate your career. It's going to improve your value. It's not something that after you've learned it, that is the end. You just learn it. No, you're going to start keep learning. Your learning of this data analysis is just the beginning. You can still grow your career along the line and become a data scientist. Then you now, if you desire to do that, you grow. Then you can learn some programming language like Python, like R, and the rest to do more complex analysis or more complex visualization or more complex thinking than what you would have done with the visualizing or whatever. So, and mind you, remember, like we shared earlier, there are huge prospects in future. You have future opportunities when it comes to data analysis. The use of data is not going to reduce in recent time. It's going to keep increasing. Now, a company can generate what it will have generated in 10 years in 1 day. Now you can generate the data in 1 day, what you have generated in 10 years before. Fine. So you need somebody who will be in charge of those data. Do that. And looking at the industry around us, sometimes you are afraid, where can I work? Where? If I learn this skill, where can I work? Remember when I started I talked about the tech being in every space. The same thing, every organization now sought after professionals that can help them in key decision making. You know, when you talk about decision making, it's not just about thinking. You cannot just sit down and be thinking and be ranking, okay, telling them, guessing. No, you don't guess you don't get in decision making with data. When you talk about data-driven decision making, bring out the data, explain what the content is, tell us what data is saying. Then you can predict what is likely to happen. You can project what's likely to be the next thing. It's a projection. So, but it's not just, you cannot just sit down and tell us. If you look at what we have here, we can say categorically that if product D manager is not sacked, or we don't look at this product very well, this product will start, is going to put the company in bigger mess in future. And even if you look at this, you can see that this product is likely to maintain a kind of stability as it's going. You can predict that perhaps it may not grow the same way it was growing before. Become that more, and talking, you cannot just be talking with your data, with your brain, just with your brain only. No, you're going to talk based on the data that is available for use. So the need for data analysis keep growing on a daily basis. The need keep growing, and it's not restricted to either a big company or a small company. No, it's whether big or small now recognize the role of making an informed decision from the data, and they need people like you who can help them out. They need people like you who can help them to explain what the data is saying, get full insight into why this is happening. What are the possible reasons why our sales is stagnant? Compare things together. Who are our potential customers are? When do we sell more? You see, all those things will help companies to know what to put in place to enhance growth. 2, data analysis transcends industry boundary. It's not limited to a particular industry. While it is more of tech businesses look towards the analysis, the conventional businesses are also now imbibing the culture, from finance to healthcare to commerce, e-commerce, marketing, and the rest. Everyone now knows the importance of data analysis. And the future is that as the data grows, with the advent of big data, machine learning, and other things, there are more opportunities for data analysis, and your proficiency will now be the one to put you at the forefront of the opportunities. So, starting your career, start your career as data analyst or business analyst. Mind you, when you hear the word data analyst and the business analyst, most of the time we use the same tools to do the analysis. While business analysts focus more on business information, data analysts can focus on any data available, whether business, financial, marketing data, or any data that may not even be business related. It may be maybe for NGOs, maybe for let's look at the past COVID-19. There are a lot of data around there, out there from different websites that one can analyze and see what was happening, how it happens from different countries to countries, and the rest of that. So, but when we talk about financial analyst is quite different from the two. It's more, they are not even related. While data analysts and business analysts are closer, in fact, most companies use the name interchangeably. Data analysts, business analysts, the names are used interchangeably because they use the same tool. What it just left for you to understand the business information, and you become a business analyst. That's all. Data scientists work more with programming language like Python and R. It's just like advanced data analysis. Data science is like advanced. While you work as a data analyst, you work on structured data. Data scientists work more on unstructured data. They work more on structured data that you look at it as you just like lose hope. They build serious model. Here we build a very light model as a data analyst, but data science build more serious model. That's the reason why you can be able to look at your screen and you can use your face to unlock your screen to do so many things. But data engineer are the one responsible for building infrastructure for the tool. So they are not related to the tool, but they are also data workers. Work on data. The work of data engineer is to provide the kind of infrastructure that makes the job of data analyst, and scientists to be successful. Now, what are we covering during this period? One, we are going to learn from Excel. These are 8 weeks. It's going to look like this. We have the basic functions, cell referencing, logic functions, and the rest. Then we move to data structuring, formatting, sorting, filtering, and some statistical functions. Then we move to conditional formatting, data tools, text to column, flash fill, data cleaning, and the rest. So all these are the areas we're going to cover in our Microsoft Excel. We learn how to use VLOOKUP, index and match, data modeling using the VLOOKUP, index and match, and pivot table. From there, we move to pivot chart and learn how to create an interactive dashboard using Microsoft Excel. You can actually visualize in Excel. Yeah. So many people think that it's not easy to visualize in Excel. Yeah, you can do visualization with Excel. While you still learn the Power BI and the rest, is because the capability of Excel is very small in terms of data. So when you have a small data, you can use Excel to visualize your data. When you have a very limited data set. So, and with introduction of Power Pivot, also you can even work on more a kind of larger volume data now with Microsoft Excel. Then we move to Power Query, to Power BI rather. From Power BI, we're going to learn Power Query, visualization, DAX, modeling, and analysis. So we're going to learn a lot of things on Power BI. Then we move to SQL. In SQL, we are going to learn the syntax, how to query your database, how to query your databases. You know, unlike before, when you have a little data, you can you can use Flash to be sending data or whatever. But when you have a huge data set, your data resides in your database, where you can now go and extract what you need. So how to extract information from your data set, that's the knowledge, that is where you need knowledge of SQL. You want to analyze this production report or production process whatsoever. Now the data is there in database. It's now your job to go and extract what you need to perform your analysis. It's your job to go inside and extract the data you need for analysis, either in Power BI or Power Query or Microsoft Excel. And finally, we're going to learn Tableau, how to use Tableau for analysis and visualization. So that's how the 8 weeks is going to take place. We're going to start with Microsoft Excel, then Power BI, then SQL, and Tableau. So those are the areas we're going to cover in this training. So why joining us? One, like I said earlier, that our training is going to be practical. It's going to be real life practical training. As we are learning, as we are training, you are learning. Two, our training class or training school is at its infant stage. So unlike so many big outfit there that doesn't really care about you. Yeah, you learn from them, but when you want to ask questions, there's nobody to really respond to you. Just tell you to go and ask from the group, and then when somebody if somebody answers you or not, that's your own cup of tea. Why we also encourage that you ask a question is that so that everybody can learn from it. But we will personally respond to your question or challenges. We don't believe in rush that we take everybody just rush like that 8 weeks. Sometimes the 8 weeks can be extended to 9 weeks also if we think you are small things to learn from you, from us. We don't just stop the training in the midway simply because it's 8 weeks. So if you need to extend 5 weeks, we'll do. If you need to organize a kind of extra class for you, we do. Just to ensure that you learn what you paid for. So currently the training for data analysis is 45,000 naira for 8 weeks. We allow installment payment, and we want the balance payment to be here want you to complete all the payment by the end of 3rd week, which means that by 4th week, we want all payment to be completed by the 4th week. That is the mid of the training. All payments should have been completed at that time. We do not want to be removing someone from the group here and there. No. Try as much as possible to make sure you pay everything before the end of the 3rd week. And there is guarantee of your money. If you pay for our training and within the first 3 classes, we have one today, tomorrow, and next Saturday. After the 3rd class, if you feel that this is not what you want, you get your money 100%. No charges, nothing. If you paid and after 3 classes, you want to get your money back, you are good to go. Get your money. Not at the end of the 6th class, or the end of the 6th week or 7th week. No, that will not be applying. But after the 3rd class, if you see that the class is not meant for you, you are free to get your money back. I'm going to give you, after the class, if you look here, we can see that we have the future intensive project. We are going to give you a couple of data sets that you're going to use to practice and showcase as your portfolio. This is a skill that people want to see what you have done. It's not just a skill about your certificate, your BSc or your MSc or whatever. No, it's a skill about can you show us what you have done? Can you show us what you have done? So this period will be set aside for you to practice and submit your assignment, your project. So after submitting your project, that's going to be used to issue out a certificate to you. So how we do our training is this. Today is day 1. We're going to make our day 1 to be free for everyone. We have tomorrow as day 2. We're going to make tomorrow free to everyone. But after tomorrow, if you are not paying, you will not be accommodated into any of our training again. This particular training, the free aspect of it ends tomorrow. So that means you have between tomorrow and Saturday next week to make your payment. For those of us who are like, I will pay month end. Month end has come, new month has started now. Let's try and make payment. You see, when you are planning for future, it's not tomorrow. You start planning today, because the future is already tomorrow. Tomorrow is already part of the future. And any investment you invest in your career is investment in your life. Like some people say, there is money in scarce. Yeah, there's scarce money, but to get value for your money, you have to invest wisely also. Where people can go and register and join like 200,000, 200 class, 500 people in class, fine and good. At the end of the day, only 20 or 15 out of them will really grab what they are learning, while the remaining 190 or 185 are just part of them. You get that? So we want you to join us in this career so that we learn together and grow together. I'm glad that most of us here are product of referral. Those who have attended our class actually refer some of you here today, which means that if our class, if our training has not been beneficial to them, they will not have introduced you into our training also. We also want you to be a good ambassador and introduce our companies to other people also. So before I end the class, let me just introduce a few things we also do. For some of us who may not even participate in the class at the full-time class, we have other services that we offer at Broughton Concept Consult, from account services, this registration, and the CCAC, other CAC related services like annual returns and the rest. We have filings, accounting softwares, inventory softwares, trainings, and the rest. So these are what we do. So to connect with me on LinkedIn, this is my name. Akeemm Mustafa is my name. I'm going to be the lead instructor. I'm not going to be the only instructor. I'm going to take you on Excel and Tableau. Why my co-instructor instructors will take you SQL and Power BI. By the time they join the class, each of them will introduce himself to you, and I'm glad, I will be happy that you are going to gain a lot from our training. Thank you very much for your time. So let's ask one or two questions before we dive into the practical section. Thank you very much. You have one or two questions.
Hello.
Good
Hello.
morning, sir.
Good morning.
I'm Mrs. Felicia.
Mrs.
Can you hear
Felicia.
me?
Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
I can hear you.
It's quite unfortunate. I saw your link on Facebook.
Okay.
It was the first link I saw. I saved it. I saved your name on my WhatsApp. But later I saw a group again, doing the data analysis training. So I decided to, the way they are organized out, they look organized and standard. So I joined. I said to join them after the payments. But what I discovered, the program was too crashy, fast. They thought so, but my own, because of lack of time, I was because I read computer science. I just say let me start with data analysis before I go to other like data science or something like that. So I'm even putting myself in the shoe of those that don't even know computer at all, how they will cope up, because of the fastness and everything. So it was really a crash program, So I was trying to save the videos, say after I'll go back, as I took in the class, I'll go back and check. But unfortunately, I discovered that all the videos, they are corrupt. I say now, wow, I cannot go back to this place again. Even if I decide now to do it myself, I know I can do it, but my own is time. They did not teach Tableau. They didn't teach Tableau. They taught Power BI or something like that. It was very fast. They were fast, very fast, So what I'm saying this now, because me, as I saw your own now, I say that it's like this one is going to be better off, and I don't want to experience. Me, I have no need. My problem is to sit down and organize myself and start doing something. But I still want to join this class. That's something I want to get. They really tried in the SQL, but they were fast, very fast. So I just saw your invitation yesterday, 45K. So this one I have at least known some topics there. As I want to join now, so I'm still going to pay that 45K. Also, that's what I want to. And the way you talk now, I like your teaching, and I believe that other instructors will be like that. You understand? If it's going to be possible, if they can just do introduction for us for other, you say you are going to take a Tableau and the Excel, I don't have problem in those in Excel and SQL. I can do SQL, but not in an advanced level. But what I'm saying, as you have taught us now, because I like your teaching, I like people when you teach, you cool down, listen to people, as a teacher, listen, any questions, especially the newbies. Me, I know what I can do, but I see there's something I'm still looking for. I want to get. I don't just want to. I want to do it practically. Anywhere I'm going, any interview, I know I can defend myself with this. You understand what I'm saying? The main is not certificate. What do you get? That's the main thing.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying, as you have done your introduction, can other instructors do so that we know, at least we know what we want to pay for? I know how much I paid.
Thank you very much.
I know what
Thank you very much.
amount I paid.
Hello, I have a
Not
question though.
I can still.
You all ask your question. Don't worry. I can answer your questions. Thank you, Felicia. Your brief one. Let me quickly answer her first. Sorry. So, Felicia, I appreciate your message, and I understand what you are going through. I know a lot of people who have gone through the same thing. When you enter into a crash, this thing, and you see, because that's one of the advantages of learning a small nation like us. And before you also learn, like I said, listen to what they offer you, and you can rate. I appreciate that you can understand the way I teach, and those who have attended my training can also testify to that also. So if you have any other whatsoever, any personal whatsoever, just reach out to me. We are going to talk that one out. If you say you know SQL and this and that, we are not going to remove you in the class when you want to learn.
I still need
Let's talk one-on-one on that.
Okay.
Jimmy, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, can I go ahead now?
Yes.
Okay, I have like 3 to 4 questions.
Okay. Ask. Please, can you be muted if you are not talking? Please, let me mute all.
Sorry.
Okay, Jimmy, you can unmute and talk. Jimmy, please, you can unmute. Hello, you are muted already, Jimmy. I cannot hear you. I've muted you. Go ahead now and talk.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Okay, number one question is I just I need a clarification. Is data analyst and business analyst, are they the same thing, or is it different in any way?
What is that? I didn't hear you.
I said data analyst and business analyst, are they the same thing or they are different? That's the number one question.
Yeah, they are but in terms of application, you are going to learn the same thing, the same tools. Any other question again from you? You have 3 questions. Other ones?
The second one.
Sir, we didn't hear the response very well. It was breaking. We didn't hear your response to that question he asked. Yes.
Okay. I said tactically, they are more or less the same thing. Data analyst and business analyst. Most companies use them interchangeably also. But the fact that you are going to learn the same tool you are going to use for that business analysts use, are the same thing that data analysts you also use. You get that? You're going to use the same kind of data set, the same kind of tools. But the difference is in the aspect of the data you're going to analyze. You're going to analyze different data sets. Why business analysts focus more? Business analysts focus more on business data. Data analysts can work on just any data, just like that. That's just the difference between them. It's more or less like the same thing. Yep.
Okay. The next one.
Yeah.
Hello.
Let Jimmy conclude, please. I'm sorry. Amida.
Can I go ahead?
Amida? Okay, go ahead.
Okay. You made mention of SQL.
Yeah.
And I've come to notice that SQL is a programming language. So, in the aspect of someone that maybe didn't learn computer science in school,
maybe didn't study anything related to computer science, and how would that person be able to cope with this programming language of that SQL?
Okay.
Be able to...
Okay. No problem. As a data analyst, what you need to learn about SQL. SQL as a programming language, yes, but SQL is more or less like a declarative language. It's not about coding. It's about getting information. You want to extract information from data set. That's what your focus is all about. You get that? You want to extract information for analysis. You want to select. I want to get sales information from so period to so period, from this column and column and column. You get it now? So to extract information from database, that's what you want to learn, and it's more or less like a normal English structure. It's a declarative language, and it's more or less like a regular English structure, not a very tedious whatsoever. You get that? So it's very easy.
His question. Sorry for interrupting. I want to, because I know that SQL involves tables.
Yeah. Yeah. You are going to extract information from the tables and use for analysis. As simple as that. It's not. When you talk about SQL,
Can you hear me?
SQL is not a kind of programming language that will need so much programming. It doesn't require so heavy programming whatsoever. It's a language.
Yes.
It's a declarative. It is not. It's more or less like it's a declarative language for extracting. You are not coding anything. You want to extract information from your database. That's all.
So okay. With this now, so I want to know. I don't know going to go into details. For example, now assume that you don't have any information already on the table. There's no way they can show you how to create that table, input your data. This you have to store it on database before you can now begin to query that database to release the information for you. I want to get it because I don't want to, I told you I've gone to this class before, but their problem was they were fast, too fast, that even the newbie cannot catch up. A new person. You understand? You understand what I'm saying, sir?
Yeah. Creating table. Creating table.
Yes. You have little coding. There, but even if you read computer science or not, you can still catch up with it.
Even the coding the coding you are talking about, when you talk about database, the coding you're talking about, because we are going to use my SQL server. The coding you're talking about, they are more or less like, for example, to create table in SQL, what do you use? Create table, and you name your table. You have created a table. The next thing now is you want to add the column, and you define what your column should have. Is it a text? Is it this and this and that? They're going to take you all those. They're going to take you through all those processes. That's not. It's not going to be. It's not. You don't need any. You don't need any programming knowledge to learn SQL. That is.
Yes,
I think you can confirm that, Felicia. You need any programming knowledge to learn SQL?
Not like Python or C.
So that's
this one
what
is
we are trying to say here.
English language.
Okay, so we have a lot of people who want to ask questions. Please, Felicia. Sorry, I'm not cutting you short.
I have questions, please.
Jimmy,
please.
Is that
please,
all?
can I just
Can I
ask
ask
a way
one
of
Yeah, you asked me to hold on for somebody.
Jimmy.
You're supposed to call me
Jimmy.
after the person
Jimmy.
finishes.
But it's becoming
Jimmy,
crowded.
I will call everybody. Don't worry. I will call everybody.
Then you
Don't
asked
mind,
me
don't
to
worry.
hold on for somebody.
Yeah, you will. You will ask your question. I'm sorry about that. After Jimmy, Udoka, Lawal Ismail. After Lawal Ismail, Ashim, then Abib Adewale, Adeyemo, and Amidat. Yeah. That is it. That is
You call the first person last.
Sorry, don't first. That is the way this team is showing them here on this line. It has numbered everybody.
If you have
Sorry
asked,
about that.
hello, if you have asked your question, please lower your hand. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Olawale.
Okay,
Okay.
sir. Can I go ahead now?
Give me final question.
Sorry, you made mention of that this data analysis of a thing is transferable. Like transferable.
Is that what? Please speak louder. Please speak louder.
Can you hear me?
Jimmy. Okay. Jimmy, I can't hear you again. I cannot hear you. Okay, Udoka. Let Udoka go ahead.
Okay, can I go ahead with my question now?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, you made mention of the price for data analysis. So I
Yes.
want to know, is the price inclusive with the certificate?
Yes, there's no special payment for certificate again. Yeah.
Okay, then secondly, after the training, like people like all that into freelancing, is there any way you can assist in terms of the freelance job in order to make everything work out after the training?
We don't guarantee job, but we will share opportunities around with you. Any opportunities around, and if you need our support, maybe a reference or anything, we're glad to do for you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
What about recommendations?
You're welcome. We can do. Yeah. Okay, Lawal Ismail. You can do your hand. Lawal Ismail. Are you there? Okay, Ashim. Ashim.
Hello, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. I just want to ask few questions and contribution. Yeah,
Okay.
part of what the first person that asked question said, I just want to buttress on that. On the issue of, this data analysis is a practical class, and I think some of the problems students do face when they are doing this kind of training is the approach of some of the facilitator. It is not like you said, it is not like ordinary training that you just want to get the certificate, but the practical knowledge is so important. So the first one we have started today, to me, I think is on the right path. So if the program can continue like that, in terms of the approach of the lecture, whereby the training will be more practical than theoretical in nature. So that is number one. Then number two, I think part of the problem facing this kind of training is the number of students. If there are a lot of students in the class, it makes it very difficult for a facilitator to be able to cope with the student. And I guess apart from the class, another way of helping the student is if the facilitator should have time for students that will ask questions outside the class, because the class is just 10 to 1, which is just 3 hours in the day. But if the facilitator has some time that he or she can dedicate for students that need some clarification. So that is on that. Then on the issue of the scope of coverage, we have seen what we want to do for those weeks. And I think it is very key because at times some academies, some training institutes, when they have the scope of schedule to be done, at the end of the day, they may not be able to follow that. And I hope in this case, we will be able to follow it judiciously. And the last one is the issue of after the training. I saw from the plan that we have that 3 months post training for the student. Is it 3 months? Is it realistic? That is what I wanted to know, because most of the time after the training, the student might have some questions. Then when you are doing some exercise with some questions, you might have some certain thing to clarify. But in some situations, you might not have the opportunity to be speaking with the facilitators again because they have other students they are dealing with. So that is my question and contribution. So thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you very much, Ashim. So I appreciate your contribution, and I would like to quickly respond to the gray areas there. Number one, in terms of responding to our student, unfortunately, I look around, I can't see any of my host students in the training here today. I can't see, unless they use another name. I respond. We give response. You know, we don't have much students for now in our own case, so we respond to everyone. If you have any challenge, we encourage that you drop your challenge into the group, so that other people can also learn from the same problem you are facing. You get that? You ask a question in the group, we'll respond to you in that group. And if you are practicing and you have issues, practically, you can reach out to me. Sometimes I share my screen and look at which area you're having issues, and we solve the problem together. So that is that. And on the aspect of the 3-month support, you know, we are going to give you, when I say that we're going to give you like 10 data sets, between 8 to 10 data sets, you cannot finish it in 1 month. I know, because that's not the only thing you are doing. Most of us are working. Most of us here are working. So you can't finish your project in 1 month. So within that 3 months, you get it, you'll be practicing and be working. And we'll also be organizing some review classes where we review some of those projects together. You know, if I give you 10 projects to do, and you are doing it, other people are doing it, sometimes we organize a day where all of us pick one of the projects and do it together again. That will serve as a kind of a refresher for what you have learned before or what you have forgotten. And also it encourages other people who have not started their project to start working on their project. So you have that full 3 months to go through that process.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome, Sir Ashi. Mr. Adewale Habib.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
My question is not much. Please, what I want to ask is, can you differentiate between data annotation and data analysis? I'm having issues between those two things. Can you differentiate between that?
Data what?
Data annotation.
Annotation. When you
Yes.
annotate something, right?
Yes, I've seen people that they say they are data annotator and data analysis. So can you please differentiate between the two?
I don't know much about data annotation as a course, but I know that during visualization you annotate your visualization or annotate your analysis or your visualizations. Yeah, that's what I know about that. I don't know much about the course or the training.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Adeyemo. Adeyemo.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
To start with you people. Little I was able to gain. I think I have a little knowledge because I just finished my master's in HR. So we had like a computer training, a little computer training. So I was able to grab a little. So the question is, I'm having a challenge now. I want to do another master's, which is in program management, project management. I don't know, maybe this data something will be useful for me there. Because like you said, I'm being referred to come and they refer me to come and join. So I'm thinking, will it be useful? Is it like although everything is not wasted yet in any sense, everything you learn now, any knowledge gain now, it might not be for now, it might be for the future. But what I'm talking about is that, is it useful for my project management course that I want to go into now? Or, Nigeria is very good now, so I can't just say that, let me just put money where there's another place.
Yeah, exactly.
I know you will say that it will use for your head, but to be plain, I don't know. Just tell me so that I won't be like, how many? I'm just to pay for another section now. So that's what I'm asking. Exactly. And secondly, the course that I finished, I think HR. I'm thinking, no, maybe I should not even ask it. Let me just say, and secondly, let me just say the second question is that I saw that someone is taking recording. We that were unable to join by 10, how are we going to get the first ask the part that we missed?
Okay.
So that's the question that I'm.
Okay. Number one, the first thing I will want to respond to is the fact that you study HR, right? And you just finished your master's, and you want to go from that master in project management.
Yes. Yes.
I think when you talk about project management, I think you have to look at the curriculum you have. Go and check the curriculum involved. From there, you can know what you will need in that aspect. And I appreciate that you admit that no knowledge is waste. But if you have talked about HR, I will have said that okay, data analysis is directly beneficial as HR whatsoever. You get it now, because you now have HR. We have HR analytics now. You get that? You can post yourself as an HR analytics. So, but for project management, I don't know more of the content of the course.
Okay.
Yeah, that is one on the aspect of that. On the other aspect, the other question, can you remind me of what you asked for the second question?
That someone is already taking the recording.
Okay, is the recording all our classes are recorded.
Okay.
All our classes are recorded, and we give out our classes to our students to watch in case they forget something or they miss the class. They have access to the recordings. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Welcome. Amida, yeah, go ahead. Sorry that you said you are the first one, but the way this thing
yes, you asked me to
step down for somebody. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
You can ask a question now. Good morning.
Okay. Please, I want to know the difference between data analyst and data scientist. That's number one. The number two, data analyst and data scientist.
Okay, go ahead.
And as a medical laboratory scientist now,
okay,
learning data science, will you make me to be a data analyst or a data scientist?
Okay. When you learn, I get your question. Number one, the difference between the two, I think I just explained some little difference between the two. Number one, data analysts work basically on structured data to answer some basic questions. It's like an introductory level into data science world.
Okay.
Get it? So in that data analyst program, you don't really go into programming languages because you don't need to know programming languages. It's more or less like a drag and drop of a thing and calculations only. How to use some formulas to do some things and do some drag and drop. You drag this one and place it here. Take this one, place it here. Put this color here. Name this one. Give this one name and save it. But as a data scientist, you are more or less to be working with unstructured data. And in that case, you are going to need knowledge of programming language to extract the insight from your data set. You're going to use programming language to extract information from data. You may not be using the Power BI or Tableau or Excel really. You're going to focus more on programming language as a data scientist, and you're going to build more and sophisticated model with that.
Okay, is that part of the training here, sir?
No, we are only focusing on data analysis for now. Yeah, that's little we can chew for now. And You said if you learn data scientist, would that make you be a data analyst? Yeah. Because by the time you are learning the data scientist, you're going to learn some basic analysis along the line also. So it's like, although, it's always good to have, if you are moving higher, it's always good to learn from base to hub, than to learn from hub and want to come and to learn and drill down. You get that now? So it's always good to accelerate your career from down to top than to jump. So when you jump some things, you learn, but the learning may not sink, and you feel frustrated and leave out the whole career, the whole thing.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Felix, I think, please, we have only one question now to answer now. We'll continue the remaining one. You can chat, you can ask for another whatever from me after the class or within the group. We have spent more than I plan to end down by 11:30. The questions by 11:30, so that we can have at least 1.5 hours for our class. We already have 11:45, and the questions keep growing. The hands, I keep seeing more hands. So let Felix has gone. Is your question answered? Okay, I think we have Fasilat now. Fasilat.
Good morning, sir.
Fasilat. Hello, good morning.
I can hear you. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you? Thanks for the enlightenment, sir. Sir, my question is like this. Hello, okay. Sir. My question is like this, sir. I actually joined you late, but when I joined, my data went off. I have to go and get another data. Then in between that, I missed it. But I want to know major difference between I'm an accountant, though not full practice. Then I have my FC already. I have my MBA in financial management, and I have my tax. So I really want to at least specialize it. Not too late for me. I did financial analysis one time like that, but I couldn't complete it. So I want to know the difference between financial analyst and data analyst. Do I have anything in common for as a what they call it? I connect myself. I mean, something I can stand on that I can I can call it a career. Can I call a career as a data analyst? And if I want to go demand and I can earn my living from it.
Yes. The first question is about the difference between financial analyst and data analyst, right?
Yes, sir.
And I think I explained some things while talking about while doing presentation. That when you talk about financial analyst, is different. It's actually different from data analyst and business analysis. Well, yes, since they analyze some data, they have some little similarities, but financial analysis is a bit wider. It involves a lot of skills. If you check through your syllabus, then you will be talking about you learn more about economics, you learn about financial modeling. So exactly. You have a lot of things you are going to learn as a financial analyst. That's a professional career that you must have a background in either economics or accounting before you can go into that, or finance before you can go into that. But unlike data analysis, you don't need any background. You got this is purely a tech aspect of your career. Okay. Now, the second aspect of the question is that can you now say that okay, as a career, I'm a data analyst? Sure, you can do. But one thing about this is that unless it you have to do a lot of work. If that means you want to work like an independent and data analyst, right? Not as employee or whatever. Yeah.
No.
It is possible, but you have to do a lot of marketing job. You have to do a lot of connections. You have to do a lot of what do you call it? Networking. Okay. You get that? So if you can do that, those who need the service are there, just for you to be able to convince them that use my company instead of employing me. And once you can deliver, this is about delivery. Once you can deliver, they are ready to take you and pay. It's just as simple as that. So sorry. So I think to this end, please let's halt the question and answer for now, so that it doesn't become an open-ended story. Jimmy, Fasilat, please.
Yes,
After the you have answered your question, right? Jimmy, I think Felix also. Please, after the class, you can reach out to me. I will be glad. Samsudin, you can ask me questions after the class. Thank you very much. So let's move into today's session, and let's see what we can gain. At least let's take one or two things. For people who will likely join or who will not join us, let them pick something from, let them tap for something from our knowledge too. So I'm going to share my screen now on Microsoft Excel, and I think we can all see our own too. Okay, sorry. I'm going to share my screen now on Microsoft Excel. I think you can see my screen now. So that's like you can take off your hand. Just click on that hand again, it will go off. So we are going to learn some basic introduction today. Excel rather. I think we've talked about data analytics from the introductions. So, and this also is something we can read on our own. Analytics and visualizations, they are components of modern data-driven world. So this is something we can, I think I've explained most of the concepts here. Raw data. I think I demonstrated the simple analysis where we can all see that, it's easier to interpret data when you visualize it than just looking at data and want to get insight from that. So for most of us, we are going to start our training as a basic, so that we don't want to jump any of the training. We're going to start from basic. So for those of us who already have Excel knowledge, no problem. You are going to add knowledge to you, no matter the level of Excel you have, unless you are an advanced user. I'm sure by the time we do 2-3 classes, you will appreciate you join this class. So some people might be, no, I'm beyond, you're above this. You may be above the first class. I'm sure by the time you get to the third class, I'm sure you're going to learn something that you will appreciate at the end of the class. I'm sure about that. Not about boasting, but I'm sure we're going to add some values to you, no matter the level of Excel, except you are an advanced user only. But if you use Excel on a daily basis, there are so many things you still do some in a manual way that we will see, I can do it better this way by the time before we end the class. So now we have this is just a story about the analytics, and on the sheet 2 here, we have the overview of the courses which I've explained. We have Excel, we have Power BI, we have Tableau, and we have SQL. I think we have crossed this band also. Then we move into Excel interface. Now let's talk about this interface now. The Excel interface comprises of cells. We have cell A, B, C, cell. So we can see all these cells. If I click on this cell, look up here. Who can tell me what is here? Can you tell me what I'm hovering around something? A1, which means that that is the intersection between A and 1. This point where I'm clicking now, this cell, the name of this cell is called A1. That cell. That is column A, this is column, and this is row. Where column A means row 1 is called what? A1. If I click on this place now, you can tell me the name of this cell, G1. This is where column G intercepted what? Row 1. Now look at this white box here. What's the name of this cell?
Which one? That's
this
C7.
cell
C7.
C7. For the love of footballer, this C7 has a meaning for football people. there is somebody that has something similar to this. That's CR7. That is Cristiano Ronaldo. So let's say we have C7. Look at this cell. This where column, mid row, C7. That's how the cells are. If I click on this, I've clicked on complete column. Can you see? When I select something like this is called a complete column selection. If I click on something like this, I selected complete row. You can see that I take my cursor to the extreme left. You cannot see the arrow facing towards the right. So when I click on it, it highlighted the entire row from A to Z. So it's even before it's beyond the Z itself. It highlighted it beyond Z. Let me see let's see the end of the one. So we have the XFD. That's the end of this row. So from there, from A to the end, can be selected by clicking on this arrow when your cursor is facing the right side. The same thing with column. When it's facing down, you can select the row. You can see that the cursor has changed. But when it reaches this H portion, it's showing a kind of arrow facing down. So I can select more than one column. I can select more than 3 columns. I can select as many columns as possible. That is what the Excel interface is comprised of. And above here, on the top here, you can see we have different tabs. We have some tabs up here. These tabs we have from File. We have File tab, and we have Home tab, Insert tab, Page Layout, Formula tab, Data tab, Review tab. All these are tabs. This one, most of us may not have this on our own tab. Developer, add-in, app. You will have app. You may not have other ones, but you're going to have File, Home, Insert, Page Layout, Formula, Data, Review, and View and Help. So most of us are likely to have all those ones on our system. So by the time when we start the training, we will introduce you to what each of them does. And I believe we're going to learn from almost all these sheets, all these tabs here. So that's what we have here on top here. And above this, we have this. We call it Quick Access Toolbar. Quick Access Toolbar. There are some tools that you use often. If you have a tool that you use often, you can just save it here. So the next time when you need it, instead of scrolling to anywhere, you can just pick it up from there. For example, let's say I use email often. I can just check email. You can see email here. So next time I want to send email, I will just have to click on this, and it will open either my Outlook or server where you want to do your email. So that is what that does. And coming down here, you can see we have different sheets. We have sheets, sheet 1, sheet 2. In the old up to Excel 2007, we used to have 3 sheets automatically. When you open your new workbook, you have 3 sheets. But now you can have just 1 sheet now in all this new Excel. Now you have sheet 1. Can you see we have a new worksheet here? This is just a sheet 1. This sheet, I can increase it by adding another sheet here. We have sheet 2. I can increase it from sheet 3. I can right click and add insert sheet 4. Can you see? So I can remove it, I can rearrange them. You can see the way I'm dragging this to this place. I can drag it to this place. And I can rename this. Right click on this and rename. Let's call this one topics, or we'll call this one intro. You can see that it has changed from sheet 1 now. This name has changed to what? Intro now. I can give it the color. I can give this color. I can give the sheet a color. I say, okay, this is I named that one, and it's going to show blue here. I can give this one that name. I say, okay, let's rename this one and call this one new sheet or new. Can you see now? We have a new name. Instead of sheet 4 now, we now have new. We have intro, we have new. I can right click on this and give it the color also. If I want, I can say, okay, this color now, we're going to give this one red, a kind of red, and we move on. Can you see? So those are the things you can do with these sheets here. So I think that's just a brief introduction to the Excel interface, and we're going to move to the next thing. So that's just a brief introduction, sir. When you talk about Excel interface, to move from your sheet, you can just it's about clicking. Just click on the sheet. When they ask you to go to the next sheet or Suso sheet, just come down here and they pick them one by one. You can just pick on anyone and then you start going like that. It's not that hard. And the shortcut for this is Control Page Up or Page Down. When you press Control Page Up, that is Control plus Page Up, we move towards the left. We move your sheet towards the left. That is the left sheet. If you use Control Page Down, it will move your sheet towards the right sheet. Let me explain again. Look at where I am. I'm on data entry. I want to use Control Page Up. It will move, it will jump to Excel interface now. Look at it. Page up, Control and Page Up, bam. Control and Page Up, overview. Control and Page Up, can you see it's moving towards the left? If I use Control Page Down, Control Page Down, move it towards the right. So those are the ways by which you can move across your sheet. Without using your cursor, you can use your Control Page Up, Control Page Down to solve the problem. Any question at that point? Any question at that point?
No question.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Sorry. Before you go ahead, Control. I missed.
Okay.
I quickly stepped out and I missed something. So Control Page Up. Did you type Page Up? Control. Did you
no,
type
just
page
press.
up or...
Just press it. Just press it on your keyboard. I just use this one so that you can understand what I'm saying. I just put it here for you to understand what to click on.
Okay.
Yeah. You click on Control. If you are here, Control and Page Up, Control and Page Down.
Page up. Okay.
Just press them. They move you. You jump between sheets. Instead of using your cursor to be looking for this up and down, just use a shortcut. It's the fastest way of working in Excel. Shortcuts. Okay. So next thing is about data entry. How do you enter data into your cells? For most of us, this is not a new thing, but for some of us also who have not used Excel before, and they are here today with us. So when you click on any cell like this, and you look down, you will see ready here. When you see ready, it means that your data is ready to accept something. Your cell, that cell is ready to accept something. Now, let me click on this cell A1 again now. This is ready now. I can begin to type in. Great. Can you see now? I can begin to type now. It's asking me that I'm typing now. It's asking me, am I done? When I'm done, I just hit enter. Bam. This cell is also ready to work. I can say, okay, 345. 3 is asking me, am I done? Enter. So those are the two positions that this thing will always be. Now, sometimes you click on this, you don't know whether to start or not. Just when you click on the cell, just click on this formula tab here. You have a formula bar here at the top here. When I click on the formula tab, what do you see here? Edit. Which means that I can anything I have inside this list now, I can begin to edit it. Let me click on this and click on this. I can begin to edit it or write it or add to it or whatsoever. If I click on this and I just start writing, let's say I want to write new address. We have address here, but I want to change it to new address. You don't need to edit everything. You don't need to first do everything. If you just type new address now, you can see that it has gone. What do you do? What do? You just click on this formula bar here, and you move your cursor towards the extreme left and type new. So that is the way to edit what you have inside your cell. Sometimes it can be formula. You have a formula already, so then you have equals to this times this before, and you want to add this place to it. What do? You just say, click on this place. When you click on it, it has highlighted your formula, and you say, okay, plus this, and you hit enter. You get that now? So that is the way to edit your cell inside Excel. So the shortcut for this is F2. For editing is F2. When you press on anything and you press F2, there's a function key on your keyboard. You will see F1, F2, F3, F4, all those F, 1 to 12. When you click on this and click F2, you can see your cursor ready at the back here. So you can edit, you can scroll forward, you can delete, you can anything from it. That is
So
the shortcut.
I didn't get this explanation on F2.
F2 is used to edit your cell. You know, I click on this when you want to edit your cell. When you click on the cell, you cannot just start side. If you want to edit, if you want to write new thing here, just type writing. The other one will be deleted, will be covered. But assuming you don't want to cover it, what do? You first click on this place and place your cursor where you want to place it, delete what you want to delete, and start and correct it. But I now said that the shortcut to edit your text or your formula is what? F2. There's F2 function key on your keyboard. Let me check keyboard here. I think that is it on keyboard, on screen board. We have the F2 here. Oh, it's not here. It's supposed to show here. You see it above your key here. You see F1, F2. If you check your keyboard, the function key. Okay, we have it there. F1, F2, F3. So if you press F2, let me click on the cell now. Look at this place now. It's here. It's ready to accept. And if I press anything now, it will delete this formula. But if I want to edit the formula, I just click F2. Can you see that the cursor is blinking? The cursor is blinking, so I can add anything. I can just edit now and add, enter. Without clicking up and down, just select it and press F2. Bam. That's it. It's another faster way of editing your formulas. Making two shortcuts we just learn now. A 3 shortcut: page up, page down, F2. So that is just the way to enter data into our cell. Any question at that point? Okay, let me assume no question. This is just a basic. So I believe most of us have passed this stage. Then the next one is, let's now move to basic functions. Why we are here today. We are here today. This is why we are here. We want to learn, not about typing or entering. But for people who are just joining us, very important. I remember one of my best students so far was the person who never used Excel before. But today he has performed better than everyone. He never used Excel before, but he kept working with us, and he learned so many things about Excel and Power BI, and he has done so many things. In fact, he will go and extract data from external data and work on it and come and drop in our group. People, I don't, if some of my old people are here, they will have attest to that. So he has never used Excel in his life. So each time I start my training, I assume that we have such a people among us. Now, let's look at this. We want to use Excel for formulas. Excel is very good when it comes to calculations. We use Excel for calculations very well. And Excel will always help you out faster than you can think when it comes to calculations. Look at this. We have 1 here. This number, this is cell B22. And we have 2 here. This one is in B23. These are 2 numbers we have. 2 numbers. We want to add these two numbers together. What do we do? Under this place, we're going to put the formula here, and we're going to do the same thing here. That will be the answer. Equals to, I click on 1. Then I click on plus on my keyboard, and I click on this. This is what we have. We've added B22 and B23 together. I click OK. See what we have? We have 3. It's as simple as that. If you change this one tomorrow to 100, you have 102. That change the formula because Excel is not looking at 1. What is Excel looking at is B22. Excel is not looking at 1. It doesn't understand 1 or 2. What Excel is looking at is what? B22 and B23. So whatever is there, Excel is ready to add them together in as much as it is addable. Let me change it to 120 also. 120, bam. Can you see? That automatically it has changed to what? 222, 220. So let me return it back to 1 and 2. Bam. Now, I want to save this formula here. I want this formula to stay here. You know what I will do? I will just click in front of this formula, or I use my F2 and press a space bar. Can you see the formula is now here now? So that next time when you want to read it, you want to know the formula you have inside your cell, you just put a space bar in front of your equals to, and your formula will reside there. You can now say, okay, let's now put our formula here now, equals to this plus this. This is the answer. So for somebody, if you don't know how we get the 3, look at this. This is how we get 3. We added B22 to B23. Can you try that out? If you are just using Excel for the first time, can you try it out? Just 1 minute for that. Equals to B22 plus B23. And you get your answer here, 3. You want to keep your formula, just put a space in front your equals to, and you get your formula in front of you as a guide for subsequent class. Any other question? No. Are we done with that? Not done. So if you are doing that, okay, you don't have any issue, fine and good. Let's try the subtraction now. How do you subtract? Just use equals to this minus this. It's as simple, just like regular mathematics. Enter. What do you see? 1. You want to keep your formula? Come here and put space in front of it. It's there. Then you can say equals to this minus this. We do it again. We have 1. Same thing we have here. It's what we did here. Want to multiply? How do you multiply? We use this sign called asterisk equals to B23 multiplied by B22. Enter. Bam. What do we do? We want to save the formula, put a space in front of this, hit enter. Then we come here. We can now say, okay, equals to this multiply by this. Enter. Then division, how do we divide? We can say equals to this 2, that is B23, divided by, use forward slash to divide. Forward slash. Divided by what? By this. And hit enter. We want to see the formula, put a space in front of your equals to, and your formula reside there. Equals to this divided by this. Enter. Now, the last one is raised to power. If you look at 6 on your keyboard, 6. Look at 6 on your keyboard. If you press shift, see what you have. You have this sign. That is raised to power. This raised to power on your keyboard. Just click on equals to 2, shift power of 6 and hit enter. 64. Pam. Can you see that? Very fine. You can say, okay, equals to 2, that is between 3, shift 6, raised to the power of what? Of 6, enter. So we have this cell raised to the power 6, like that. So we have, those are the basic functions or the basic mathematical operators that we have in Excel. Any question at that point?
Sorry, can you repeat
No
that
question,
power?
sir.
Please,
The power,
can
right?
you repeat it? Yes,
Okay.
sorry. Thank you.
We have like this. Let me use the on-screen board to explain that. We have this cell. We have equals to, sorry. We click on where you want your answer to be. Type equals to first. Equals to 2. Shift. You have to get the rest of power. Can you see? You press shift and you press, when you press shift, this one is highlighted. If you press this one now, that is going to have greater rest of power. Is that clear now?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir. I'm not getting you, sir. I didn't get this
Maybe
part, please.
maybe you should go back to formula cell. Thank you.
Thank you very
Start
much.
from the formula cell. Yeah.
Type equals to. Can you see equals to now? Lady said you cannot see me, you cannot understand. You click equals to 2. What are we doing? We want to do raised to power B. Am I correct? How do we get raised to power? You click on shift and 6. That will give you raised to power. Is it clear now? The lady? Hello? This is raised to power.
Hello?
You press,
Hello?
hello? Can you, is it clear now?
The division part. The division
okay,
part.
division.
Is it the division on the
Okay.
keyboard that we are
Okay,
going for it?
Okay. So this one is clear already. Okay, let's move to division.
Yes, sir.
For division, this is what you use for division. Can you see this? It depends on your keyboard. Keyboard might vary, but in my keyboard, this is division on my keyboard beside the shift here. Can you see this sign? This forward slash and key and question mark, they are together. This question mark and forward slash, that's what you use to divide. You use forward slash, not back slash, forward slash to divide. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, very good. Now, let's now assume that you have a long list. You have a long list. Let's say you have 100 lines. Will you be saying this plus this plus this plus, keep sign plus for 100 times? No. Excel has some beautiful functions, inbuilt functions that helps you to do your calculation also. How do we use all those functions? Just type equals to, I think we all know the meaning of sum in English. Sum. You want to use it to sum something. You want to add something. When you type equals to sum, that's one of the first function we're going to learn here. You open the bracket. To open bracket, you press Shift and 9. Shift 9 will open your bracket for you. Shift 9 will open your bracket for you, and you select your data. You can select all of them like this. Just drag, and you press Shift 0 to close bracket. Shift 9 to open the bracket. Shift 0 will close the bracket. Let's try enter and see what we have. Bam, 170. Can we try that, everyone? If you don't know how to do that, you can try it when I'm explaining again. Equals to sum. I open the bracket by pressing Shift 9. That is the 9 above your keyboard, this 9. When you press Shift, can you see that this bracket is open? Bracket is ready to work. Press bracket. Shift 0 will close the bracket. Can you see? Shift 9, open the bracket. Shift 0, close the bracket. So when you press Shift and when you open the bracket, the next thing is what? Numbers. What number do you want to add? You select those numbers and you close the bracket, hit enter. Can you try that now? That is the first function we just learned in Excel. Very beautiful Excel. Can you see? So if you have 1,000 row, just select all the row and close the bracket. Bam, everything is done. Excel will just give you your answer. Very simple. Have you tried that out? Any issue? If you have any issue, let us know. Because foundation is very key. You must know how to, once you know. Who is that question asked?
Can you please go back to that sum?
So which one? To sum?
Yes.
You are still there. Yeah. What do you want to see there? Okay.
Please do the calculation back. I want to get something there.
Equals to sum. When I click on sum, I type sum, I then open the bracket. I select my data range, all my data. And I close the bracket. That's all. I just hit enter only. Is that clear now? Equals to the sum, open the bracket, select your range, close the bracket, and hit enter. Please, can you remain muted? Please, if you are not talking to us, you can remain muted so that we don't distract other people. Sorry about that. Okay. Have you tried that out? The formula, have you tried the sum now? If you have any question, please let me know. The next one is still on sum again. We are still on sum. Let's now learn shortcut for sum. Shortcut. We have Alt plus equals to. Can you see this? Alt plus equals to. When you have something like this, you want to do summation. You want to use some formula. Look at it. I'm clicking on this cell now, and I'm going to click Alt and equals to together on my keyboard. Alt equals to. Can you see? Two things I've clicked on it. Look at what we have. Excel is suggesting this range for me. It's suggesting that, oh, are you sure you want to add all this together? I'm okay. I just see okay, enter, bam. Because Excel gets right. Sometimes the guessing might be wrong, but in this case, it got it perfectly. Let me do it again. I click on my cell, and on my keyboard, I press Alt equals to. Alt equals to. See what we have? Excel has suggested that I want to sum this range, and I agree with it. I just hit enter. That's all. Can you try that out again? Alt plus equals to. That's the fourth shortcut we are learning today. We've learned page up, page down, F2. Now we are learning Alt equals to. Alt equals to. If you don't know Alt, you won't know shortcut, fine and good. You still use the regular way. But as we are learning the formula, we will be learning some shortcut also. Some shortcut so that it makes your job faster. You are working now, instead of typing equals to form, just press Alt equals to and hit enter. Before somebody type equals to sum, finish. You already finished your submission. The fastest way of calculating using your sum. And finally, another way by which we can also sum is by using AutoSum function. That's what is called AutoSum. Under your Home tab, you will see something here, AutoSum. Just click on it. It works like the Alt equals to. You can see. have it here under the data tab here. Sorry, formula tab. You see from your left, you see auto sum here. Click on it and hit enter. So apart from using sum function, we can use auto equals to, and we can also use what? Auto sum. Auto sum. We can use auto sum to sum our to do our summations too. Auto sum. Can we move on? Please, if you have question, ask.
No question, sir.
No question? Good. From your hand, no question. If you have any question, ask your own. No, Vico. Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself, please. Who is that? Who is that? Please mute yourself.
Okay. Excuse me, sir.
Hello.
Okay. I want to from the auto sum.
Okay.
Is there no need to highlight the cell?
No, it's not compulsory.
Okay.
It's not compulsory. Okay, let me show you something now. Assuming we are not using this cell, you can see that when we use the sum, when you use this cell, auto sum or auto equals to guess, they guess right. They guess in the place we want to sum together rightly, right? Once it gets it right, what do we do? Just hit enter, because we agree with this range that's selected. What happens if we don't want to sum this range? Let's say we have some numbers here. And then we want to sum, we want to use equals to here. Look at what we are going to have. Let me delete this. I want to sum this. Okay, Ctrl Z. I want to sum this. Please look carefully. Don't get confused also. I want to sum this cell, but I want my answer to be here. My answer to be here. I can say, okay, alt equals to. Can you see that it has suggested the top here? But I don't want this one. What do? I can click on this range and drag it. Can you see? I can drag it and reduce it to this place and hit enter. So if I check this one now, that is my range. Again, let me do it again. I come here, I press alt equals to. But this is not the range I want to use, right? I can just place my cursor on it. Can you see the cursor has become like a strong cursor now, like a strong what do you call it? I can drag it with that. I can drag this, place it to where I want it to be, what I want to sum, and I can correct this range and hit enter. Do you get that? So if you want to sum in another place, and if your cursor is not getting right, if it's not getting it right, you can use that cursor. You can use the drag and drop to solve the problem. Assuming you don't have this, let's say we don't have this now, and just say alt equals to here. Alt equals to. Can you see that it has changed another thing? It's looking for another number from this side. We don't like this. What do? We just place our cursor here, change the range, and hit enter. So those are just a way by which you can manipulate your alt equals to. Did I answer the question?
Sorry, are you using alt or alt? What are you using now?
Alt and equals to.
Alt
plus
and
equals to. Yes, this one. Okay. It works like AutoSum. They work together the same way. AutoSum or alt equals to. But because it's shortcut and it's faster. Shortcut. It's faster. Okay. The next thing we're going to look at is using average function. We have talked about sum to sum something together. But most of the time, it's not only sum that we use in Excel. We also have average. When you are calculating, you want to get the average score, the mean. You know, remember mean, median, mode. You want to get the average. Use the word function called average also. Average. Can you see? Average is coming up. When you type everything finish, you open the bracket. Or when you can see that average is there, just press tab. This tab. And you see it has completed it and it has opened the bracket. Again, let me do it again. Equals to average. When I see that the blue is on what I want, if you don't have it, you can use your arrow to go up and down, your arrow on your keyboard. When the blue line is on what you want, just press tab. Can you see tab? Press tab. Just open the formula tab for you. So that when you see somebody typing and it did not finish the typing, you just see that formula is there. That is the magic it has used. Average, and you just press tab. You see it's ready. What are you finding average? You want to find average of all this. I selected the range and I close the bracket and hit enter. That is the average of, if you add the 4 together and you divide by 4, you are going to get 42.5. Even if you have 100 rows, you're going to get what? 42 point. We're going to get your average like that. So now we just learn how to use AutoSum. We can also use AutoSum for average. If you look at AutoSum here, under AutoSum, you can see something here. This arrow that is facing down. Can you see average here? I can click on average. Can you see? It's asking me where I want to find the average of. I don't want to use this place now. Let me go back into this. Let me click on this cell. And under this place, I click on, instead of just clicking AutoSum, I can select from the options here. I can select average. Close the bracket, enter. I can also go to Home tab and see AutoSum here. Beside AutoSum, you see a drop down. Hit average. You see your average is there also. You can get your average. It's called mean in statistics. We call it mean. Statistics, that's part of measure of central tendencies. Measure of center. That's mean, median, and mode. Try that out again. 1 minute. If you have any issue, ask question. If you are good to go, fine, let's go. Let's move on. Try the formula out. Equals to average, open the bracket, select your range, and close the bracket. Sorry. That is the formula. Let me expand this so you can see the formula very well. Average from C46 to C49. Remember, I told you that Excel does not know, it's not concerned with the figure. It's only concerned with the cells. If you change this one now to another thing, the average will change. Sorry, okay, I've changed it to just the formula. Next question, can I move on to min max? Under functions, there's something I want to, I think you should have asked here. The articles to only work for sum. Articles to does not work for what? For average. You know, we use articles to and AutoSum together to get sum, but we don't use articles to get average. You use AutoSum, you can use AutoSum, or you can use your regular typing. Equals to average, open the bracket and close the bracket. Now we are moving towards minimum and maximum. We want to calculate the minimum number in a range. They say, who score what is the least sales? What is the least sales in this class? What is the least sales? We use what? We use main function. Oh, what is the maximum revenue? Which month did we have the maximum revenue? You get it now? So I'm going to use minimum or maximum to get the mean or max from any data set. Even if it is 1 million data set, you can get your minimum within the seconds. Just type equals to mean. Then open the bracket, select your range, and close the bracket, hit enter. Again, equals to mean, open the bracket, select your data, and close the bracket, hit enter. 20 is the minimum number in that group. 20, 60, 20, 40, 50, 60. And the same way we get maximum number too. Just type equals to max. In the bracket, select those range and close the bracket. You have what? You have your maximum number. If you look around here, 50 is the maximum number in this group. The maximum number here is what? Is 50. So, okay, I want you to try it out now. Everyone now, try to get the max here, and get the mean here from your workbook. If you are done, type your response in the chat box. If you get it, what do you get? The max number here and the mean number here. You put it in the chat box. What do you get? If you are done, let's see your response. Whatever you get, type in the chat box. Get the maximum number and minimum numbers there. If you are done, let us know. What do you get? The max, your mean, and your max. Max 100, mean 40. Max 100, mean 20. Okay? Joseph, you get 40. Where? I think your formula is wrong.
Fasilat, please off your camera.
Okay, is that Fasilat? Yeah. I've been looking at how to off the camera here. You can put off your camera, please. Okay, somebody got what do you get? 40. I think your formula is wrong. If you get 40. the max 50 is the max 50 from, I said use different one. Use max here, get mean here. From these two, look at my screen, please. Get max here, get mean here. I don't think you can get max as 50. If you get 50, the formula is wrong. Your max must be 100. Your mean must be 20.
I use the other one. I use the
No,
okay.
use this one. This
use.
one I said you should use.
Okay.
Your max must be 100. Your mean must be 20. If you get anything different from that, the formula is wrong. Max and mean. Okay, 120. Okay, that's good, sir. So let's move on. Then we have median and mode. For our analysis, median and mode. Want to get mean, median. We have gotten mean, that is average. Median and mode. How do we get median? When you want to get median in mathematics, what do? We arrange the group. We want to see the one in the middle. That is median. So let's try if Excel can do that. We have median. He said, one thing about Excel is this. When you are typing a formula, Excel will tell you what that question does. So let's select this and then pick all this number, put them in between it, and close the bracket. What Excel will do, Excel will rearrange the number within itself and then look at the middle number. Enter. Can you see we don't have middle number because we only have 4 numbers here, and the 2 middle numbers will be what? 50 and 40. Add the 2 together and divide by 2. What do you get? Get 45. Can you see that all the formula follow the same pattern? Open the bracket, pull the cell, and close the bracket. That's all.
So how did you get 45?
Equals to your type your formula, median, open the bracket, select the range, just like I've been doing before, and close the bracket. Enter. That's all. That's how to get it.
Okay, sir.
Just open the bracket, put the number, close the bracket. It's as simple as that. I can come here and do the same thing here. Equals to median, the bracket, close the bracket, and hit enter. Bam, 40 here. Here we have 40 as a middle number, which is this, correct. Here we have 2 numbers divided by 2. 50 and 40 divided by 2. That will go 45 before. But here there is middle number here, which is 40. Get 40.
Sir, you didn't show the way you divided by 2.
Where?
In the one that you said where you have 2 numbers. The other one you didn't have.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know that is a simple mathematics that you know when you want to know the number that is middle here. Control Z. Look at this number now. Can you tell us the number that is middle here? 20, 40, 50, 60. If you arrange it ascending order, 20, 40, 50, 60. We have 4 numbers. Which one is in the middle?
40, 50.
Because when you have 4 numbers, you cannot have middle number because they are 4. So you are going to pick the two middle and divide them by 2. But this one, we have 5 numbers here. When you have 5 numbers, one will be in the middle. You get that now? Sir. When you have 5 numbers, you have 1 in the middle. You have 2 here, 2 here, 1 in the middle. But if you have 4, you cannot have middle number. We are going to add the two middle numbers together and divide by 2. That's how to get median. And mode. Mode will give you which number occur most. Which number occur more than other ones. Let's say this one occur 2 times, this one occur 3 times. The one that occurs 3 times is the mode. If you look at this number here, who can tell me the mode here? Who can tell me the modal number here? The mode here. 50. Because 50 occur more than one. 50. Yeah. 50 occur more than every other one there. So that's why we have it as mode. So let's try it out. Just type equals to mode. Just click on mode, any of the mode, and then select this and close the bracket. Hit enter. 50.
So I'm not following at all again. No, I'm not getting what you're saying.
Please follow. Please. Equals to mode.
Follow us.
Follow us, Biko. Don't leave us. When you click on open your mode, equals to mode, select your number, range, and close the bracket. Hit enter. You have your mode. Just the same way we have been doing other ones. Just equals to mode. You get that? But I will advise just
that means
single.
Does that mean if you did not put mod after that mode, it will not do? I said, does that mean we did not put mod under after the mode? It will not show the answer.
You can see that I've even removed it. That mod has meaning, so I would not want to use that one now. Just use ordinary mode, and let's move on from there. Just use ordinary mode, yeah, and go for now. Just use ordinary mode equals to mode, and move on from there. The same thing here also equals to mode. Select the mode. You can use your cursor to go down, tab, and you select your range and close the bracket. Hit enter. 40 appear more than every number here. 40, 40 here. Are we okay with that? That is our mean median mode. You know, that is the number we use. We always use that more in statistics. The mean, median, and mode number. Number that occur more than every other numbers. That is the mode. If you want to know which product sells more, this one appear 20 times. That means it's giving us the more sales than other ones. So, any question at that point? Let's practice it. Let me give you 1 minute to do that. Just a minute to practice the mode, mean, median mode.
I have a question though, sir.
Okay, ask.
Ask. Okay, my question is, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I want to ask a question about the mask and mean.
Okay.
Yeah, I understood what you did there, but I just want to ask if someone, for instance, now, maybe you have given them a data that is more than 100 for you to find the max number there or the mean. And then you have put in the formula there and you have gotten those numbers that are the max or the mean there, you have gotten them. And they, remember the data are more than 100. They are more than 100. So how is there any other formula that, or is there any formula that you can impute this so that you can easily pop up those, like, I don't know, either to color the cell or anything that make you, when you want to look at something, you now know that this is where the maximum number are, and then I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Okay, if you want to identify that number. Okay, we're going to get there. We're going to use conditional formatting to get that. We call it conditional formatting. That will tell you which one is the highest number here. Look at this from here, and this is it here. Can you see conditional formatting under your home tab? I'm just demonstrating that now. Click on this. Under your home tab, you have conditional formatting. Just select on this. Highlight which cells. Highlight the highlight the what? The top one item. Just change it to one. The top one item here should be highlighted. Can you see? This is the top item here. So we're going to learn that when we get to conditional formatting. Okay, now we move from median mode to count. Sometimes there is need for you to count to count your numbers or to count anything in your data set. So we're going to look at 3 counts now here. We're going to learn count, count A, and count blank. When you use count, please look at this thing very well. Equals to count. Can you see what is there? What is there? Can you read out what is there? Count the number of cells in a range that contains numbers. Any cell that contains number will be counted with count. If it doesn't contain number, it will not count it. Let me scroll down. Look at count A. This one counts the number of cells that are not empty. Any cell that has something, whether number or text. So far it is not empty, it will count it for us. That is count A. While the third one, count blank, we only do what? Count the number of empty cells in a range of cells. Now let's quickly try them out and see what all this grammar means. I click on this equals to count, open the bracket, open the bracket, and I select the range here. I close this bracket, hit enter. We have 5 products or 5 series or 5 anything. Can you see now? We have 5 this because they are numbers. Let's say I want to count the items here. I don't want to count numbers. I can use, if I use count again, let's use count again here and count all these items. Let me close this bracket and hit enter. Bam, I have 0. There's nothing there. Why? Can tell me why we're getting 0 here? Can somebody tell me?
Because it is not number, it is text.
Because they are not number, exactly. Now, what can we use to get the numbers here now?
Count A.
We can use count A, yeah. If we use count A now, to count this now, we're going to get everything. We're going to get the number of cells that are not empty here. We close the bracket, enter 5. Because count A will count any cell that is not empty. It's okay. So on the right side there, you can see we have 2 options.
We can't hear you.
Okay, now it's network. I'm using count A now. I want to count all the cells here and close the bracket. Hit enter. We have 9. We have 9. Let's count. We have 4 here because this one is empty. This is not counted. We have 4 here and we have 5 here. So count A will count all the cells. If we use count now, count will only recognize these 5. Count will not count all these ones. Now the last one is count blank. Sometimes you want to know whether there's an error in your data. You want to know if there are spaces somewhere when you have a large data. You can use count blank to know how many blank spaces are there. Count blank.
Your current screen is not seen.
My screen is freezing, right? Is that
it's
so?
Not seen. The current where you're working is now. It's showing now. It's showing now.
It's better now.
It's showing now.
Continue.
Okay. Okay. I think it's the network that went off that time. About that. So when you count blank, I use count blank to count all this. Now I want to know the blank cells here. Tell me that I have 2 blank cells. You see, we have blank cell here and we have blank cells there. So there are 2 blank cells that we have in this data set here. Yeah. So count A, count everything. If you have let's say you have this, can you move yourself, please? That's noise there.
Hello, sir.
There's a bit
Hello,
noise
sir.
there. Hello.
Yeah, please, I want to ask. Can you hear me, sir?
Go ahead.
I want to ask regarding this count. Yeah, what about if a number is repeated twice, or if a text is repeated twice? The counting, will it still count it one by one, or it will count a repeated number or item as once?
It's count one by one. Count this formula count one by one. Is that clear?
Even if the number are repeated twice or three times.
Yes, look at this one now. 50, that 50 here, 50 here. We counted them. Since we are counting cell, we are not counting unique numbers. You get that now? We are counting all the cells together. So that's what count does. Count.
So how do we find duplicated numbers? How do we identify that when numbers are duplicated?
When we get to conditional formatting, we are going to learn that.
Okay, sir. All right, sir.
Yeah, what we are doing now is just counting. How to use count function now. When we get to conditional formatting, we are going to learn how to use those things to find duplication, to highlight duplications, to remove. We are going to learn how to remove duplicates and all the rest as we move on. We are going to learn how to use text to column, how to use flash fill, data, remove duplicates, data validation. So we are not doing relationship here. We are doing relationship in Power BI. So we are going to learn all those tools here when we get to their turn. Okay. Now I think we have practiced this now. So the next seems to be basic formatting, but the time is fast spent. So let's so we are going to start from basic formatting tomorrow. 1:45 is the time tomorrow. Please let's try to come early so that we can achieve more and start perhaps tomorrow class.
Please, sir, what did you call the time tomorrow?
1:45. 1:45 p.m. 1:45 p.m. is the time tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
So we're going to start from here tomorrow, and if we finish it, we start the day 2 Excel tomorrow. If we don't finish, if we cannot start that one, we are going to finish this one, sir. Even if we don't start the next one. So we are moving towards our dream. Now I think we have done justice to the introduction. If you are newbies now, you can just go ahead and rewatch. I will share the video with you in your groups. If you are new to Excel, please take your time and rewatch these classes. Practice all this. Once you have a good solid foundation of how just to use all this formula, you don't have any problem again. As we move on, you'll be able to grab whatever we are learning. So any general question in the next 3 minutes? Any general questions? For those there are some of us that you have questions before.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I have a
Can
question.
you ask your question now? Yeah.
Okay. It's not really more of a question anyway. My observation, sir, I discovered that some of us in this group as taking part in some other training elsewhere. And I discovered that asking some question this time around is bringing some kind of distraction. I said, I believe some of us have taken training in other platform before coming to this training. And I can see that most of them are asking some questions that are far more beyond what you are teaching us today. So I will employ that they should wait and let the facilitator go ahead with his training, so that we'll be able to benefit better than asking too much questions.
Yeah.
That's my observation.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Today is the first interaction, and we will learn to tolerate ourselves, and we learn to understand ourselves better. So for those who, by the time we finish the free training, those of us who are in the class will know our level and they will move together along the same axis. Thank you very much. Okay, Jimmy.
Sorry, Jimmy. My name is Felix.
Okay,
And
Felix.
Yeah, Akeemm, thank you very much for this platform.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, just like my brother, apologies for the name. I think it's Shamsuddin or Shamsuddin. Please pardon my pronunciation.
Okay.
Just like what he said, I wanted to add my voice to that. That including myself, as a matter of fact, yes, I have got a certificate from a crash course, and to just not to say anything that will make anybody feel somehow. Some of the things that we have done today, trust me, I have also done them, and I still remember them. Do you get? But I believe that for the rest of us who are just coming into the system to understand how this thing works for the first time, it makes sense to give them or us the room, because even while I say I have done some of those things, there were other things that I was able to learn by the side that probably I have not done before, or I have learned but I didn't probably put them to use. So, but I got my mind really refreshed. So if we give, just let's see how we can maintain some level of decorum to help to a great way, great extent, to help all of us get to where we are going to. Then I feel that to minimize this, hey, shut up. I feel like to minimize the distraction is really much. I feel like to minimize it, you probably need to look for a way to regulate the software we are using, so that people raise their hand, just like the normal corporate class environment. People raise their hand before they talk. You get? So now it means that somebody has to probably be on check to always intimate you on who is on ground to ask questions and stuff like that, rather than we just unmute. I just unmute myself at will, and I just start talking.
And stop.
At the end of the day, it makes the whole thing boring and stuff.
Yep.
Yes. So
thank you very much. That is a very good observation.
And for all of us who have found our way one way or the other here, like myself, my aim of joining this class, I have made payment, as a matter of fact, is to get grounded. Yes, that's the main aim, to get grounded. So I understand that some of us have done one or two things on these, even some persons have done Python or even the SQL and the rest of them. Please help us, like we said, so that you don't just look, so it doesn't look boring for you that, oh, they are delaying me. No, I don't think that will make any sense, and it will not help anybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Felix. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's a very good observation. Jimmy.
Yeah, good day, sir.
Good day.
This guy, I said everything I wanted to say, sir. But let me just add this one. I don't know. My other questions now to like this. I don't know if I can.
We can't hear you. You have to speak louder. Your other question.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes.
I said my question I'm having now, currently now, is kind of like a private. I don't know if I can send it to you. Maybe
no, if it's private, let's talk private. If it's private, let's talk private. Hashim, if it is private, let's talk private. If it is public, make it public. It's now less for you. Hashim. Okay, Ngozi. At least you can bring down your hand.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Ngozi speaking, sir. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Sir, honestly, I'm blessed to be here. I came in through a referral, and so far it has been so awesome. I just want to add to what Jimmy just said. He has just said my mind there's a lot of distractions, and
I can't hear
for
you again.
some person like me, I'm just like a baby trying. I don't know if I have someone else like me here, just like a baby who is trying to crawl and to like see how I can relate. Everything is like very much new, not because I've not had this background before, but not like this, but is really outdated and old-fashioned, and is over 20 years. So it's as if I am coming up again to learn this ABCD. Please, I want to appeal to other people, just like Jimmy just said, please allow us to really see how we can grab. And when it gets to the place where you think you can learn more or your level is, you can actually join. If you think that your level, you've gone beyond this level, please, I beg you in the name of God, don't help us to move our facilitator faster than us so that we don't end up not achieving anything. Just like I was saying, I don't follow, though network threw me out, and when I came in through the minimas and mode mid, and I lost concentration all that period. I didn't get again until I joined in again in the count A and count blank. So please, if this distraction continues like this, we might end up running in the circle. Let's minimize this asking of questions that are not really relevant.
Okay.
At the stage of the lecture. Thank you,
Thank you very much. Please, if you want to comment, if you want to ask question, please let's ask question now. Please, for comment, I think every one of us now have we are all adults and we understand the message very well. But I think I've explained earlier, this is our first day. There is no way you will not see something like this. It's our first day. We've not met together. We've not been in class together. Something like this is bound to happen. And as the class continues, everything is going to be regular. So I thank everyone. So I thank you for your observations, and we are going to keep to that. You get that? We are going to keep to that. I think we have Akeemm and Felicia. Let's just add the two. Samsudin, do you have anything to say again? Is it question? If it is question, please. If it is question.
No. And it's not a question.
Let's ask question. If it is question, please let's ask question. If it is observation, please let's leave observation for now. If it is question regarding to what we have learned today or to introduction, let's ask our question. You get that now. But if it is observation, let's do observation for now, please. We have let's just like 3 minutes to end the whole thing. Akeemm, do you have any question? Any question?
2 hours 39 minutes.
Any question, Akeemm? Okay, Felicia, any question?
Actually, Felicia. It's not a question. It's not actually. I just want to encourage the newbies. It's not that I have known everything. It's not that I have known everything, but there's a question you ask. If the teacher want to skip it, you also learn. That's how I want to say.
Yeah.
You know,
okay, thank
so
you
that nobody should be intimidated. Let nobody.
Yeah.
We are learning together. We are learning together. You understand?
Yeah,
I was a newbie before, but what I want to say, let us not be intimidated.
Yeah. I've said it all. I said today's our first day. Exactly. We are going to understand ourselves better as we move on. We are going to get ourselves better as we move on along the line. This is our first day. And the class is okay. To me, it's okay. It's not too rowdy. But this is the first day. We are not from the same background. I understand that one very well. And that's why I take it the same way. I know we are from different background, from different orientations, from different knowledge level. So, but we have to balance it and make sure that it's in between. Thank you very much for making this day a success. For those of us who have made payment, if you have not gotten the link to 20 to September 20 whatsoever 2023, please, if you have paid and you have not been given the link to that group, please do that. And for those of us who are in the group who have not paid, please let's make payments. Try if you can make payment between now and the next Saturday, you will be our opportunity to continue the class with us. So, and if you have you have any discussion privately to discuss with me, just link up with me. I'll be glad to support you. Thank you very much. Till we meet tomorrow, 1:45 p.m. Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Welcome. Bye.
We love you.
Thank you very much. I love you too.